Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Once again, I am sitting right over here. The reason for this is because it is yet again quite nice outside, which I'm a little bit confused about because it's only March. It's still really cold, so it's not like I can just go outside and do work like I desperately want to do, but I'm still going to film in natural light. So today I decided I would talk a little bit about my Camp Nano April plans as well as my Preparch plans, because I was just doing a little bit of prep work now and I was like, you know, I haven't really talked about this yet. I haven't really explained exactly what I want to do during these 2 months. So I'll take that time now to talk about it a little bit. It's good for me to put it out there because then if I feel like less motivated, I can come back to this video and see exactly what I had set in store for myself for these 2 months. To start off with Preparch, which is the preparation during March for Camp NaNoWriMo in April. For those of you who don't know what Camp NaNoWriMo is, it's essentially like NaNoWriMo, which is writing 50,000 words in a month, except you get to create your own goals. So many writers use it to revise a book, to edit a book, to write like half of a book, to write only 30k. So it's basically like you set your own goal and you have all of this month to complete it. My first Preparch plan is to outline the first book of a fantasy series that I talked about in my project video, which you can see somewhere here and also in the description if you're interested to have a look at what sort of projects I am working on. The biggest plan and the one I'm currently doing is to outline. It is fantasy, so all the world building is down. I did outline it quite a bit in a few other videos. However, I didn't fully outline the plot, so that's what I'm doing for March. That's what I'm doing, and it takes a while for me to outline because not only do I world build and I outline characters and everything they do, but then the plot, I do save the cat once, then I go over and outline the chapters individually, and then if I don't like the way those chapters are outlined, I scrap the chapter outline and I start scene outlining, which I've never really done before, but with this other idea that I have that I decided to outline, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm outlining scenes over chapters because it's just easier. And I never thought I'd be the type to be outlining scenes, but here we are. The second goal I have for Preparch, which doesn't really have anything much to do with Camp Nano, but it's still something I want to do in March, and that is to get to a point with my 2 ongoing stories, which is the second book of the Dystopian trilogy and my standalone, and I want them to be at a place that is either completed or close to completion, because during April the best thing for me would be to only work on this fantasy. If I have 2 other projects that I'm also trying to work on at the same time, it will be a little difficult for me. So if I can have just one main thing to focus on during April and then pick up projects after that, if I'm, you know, comfortable with doing that and this fantasy that requires a ton of world building, because I decided it'd be a good idea to not go down the urban fantasy route and go straight into high fantasy. The goal is basically to just write a ton of words a day for those 2 projects, so that even if I'm not finished, I can look at them and be like, right, this has this many words, this has this many words, I'm comfortable with leaving it sit for a month. So if I then choose to, you know, try and put loads of progress into 2 other projects, that's like nearly 4,000 words daily if we're thinking like 1,000 per project and 1,600 for the fantasy. That's like 4,000 words a day, and as a person who can barely manage to get 1,500 to 2,500 words daily, this will be a challenge. I'm hoping to get to a point, I mean, at first I was like, I want it completed, I want it all done, but now I'm starting to realize that's probably not going to happen. So just close to completion, or like a few chapters off completion, that would be amazing. If I can finish during Camp NaNoWriMo April, that would be amazing. Yes, I would take that. And I have yet another goal for March, because March is the time that I'm hoping to really get some good progress done. Because April, I want like by the time July comes around, Camp Nano July, I want a ton of projects done and I want to be working on something fresh. So that's why I'm trying to push myself so much. But another thing I have for March is to revise. And now I started revising already, which is why this is a goal. And yesterday, as of filming this video, I managed to revise 3 chapters and re-outline 4 chapters. So I've only gone through 3 and like made notes and like big picture notes. I'm not really looking at like editing anything yet, just what needs to be added, what needs to be taken out, what's odd, plot holes, things like that. I'm looking for those things right now. I'm hoping to revise that. I had 3 chapters that I went through, but I realized this big thing that was supposed to happen because like it inserted something that will benefit book 3. So like really foreshadowing these series of events, but something that was supposed to happen in order for book 3 to go as planned did not happen. And I was like, okay, I can insert it when I'm re-outlining, because I'm re-outlining on note cards so I can have them stuck up on my wall in my writing corner. This thing that I was supposed to add in, I realized is an entire chapter. I thought it was just a single scene, but then nope, it's not a single scene. So I went from having 3 chapters gone through to now having 4 chapters to redo. And my final goal for Preparch, yes, the final one, there's a lot, and it is to begin outlining book 3 of the trilogy, because it all ties in. If I'm done with the 2nd book, I want to start working on the 3rd book when I can. The quicker the books are completed, the quicker I can work on them as a whole, and that will be amazing. This is more like a flexible goal, so I'm not setting myself any hard deadlines, I'm not setting myself like a ton of work. It's just basically start doing it, start thinking about it. Book 3 right now, Act 1, fairly outlined, loosely outlined, Save the Cat has been used, and I have a good idea of what I want there to happen in Act 1. Act 2 and 3, however, no idea, and this is not the best since I'm supposed to wrap up the entire trilogy in book 3. Definitely have my work cut out ahead of me. So now I'm going to go into camp goals. So the first goal that I have is pretty self-explanatory from what I've been talking about, and it is to draft 50,000 words of a new fantasy series. So far I'm thinking it's a 5-book series. It could be more, could be less. It's just the sort of idea I have for the entire overarching plot. I did a little bit of outlining for it, and I'm realizing that the first book, which I thought was going to have this series of events that span a lot longer, can easily be condensed and still do the same job. So if I don't want to waffle and I don't want to add useless scenes and I don't want the pacing to be super slow, I'm going to have to cut this down, so there's other stuff that has to happen in the book, so therefore could be less. So anyway, that's just the plan, to have that first book sort of completed, just the 50,000 words of it. And I originally was gonna think about doing like less than that, but no, we're doing 50k. The second goal that I have for Camp NaNoWriMo is to finish my ongoing projects if I haven't managed to finish them in March, and to also finish revisions or just the rough sweep through. And I want to do this once again because I want my summer to be fully free to do whatever I want. If I choose to go back to all these projects, I have the freedom to do so. If I want to do something completely different, I have the freedom to do so, and it won't like detriment me because I forgot the part I'm at. I'm done, so I can do what I like. And I will also have to take a break from my books anyway, so by the time I want to come back to my books, it will be Camp NaNoWriMo, so if I want to edit, I can edit. So yeah, the plan is to just work on that, get those done, and hopefully have a free summer. Another goal I have for camp, and this will sort of act as a reward for finishing those projects that I just mentioned, and it is to make mood boards for characters. I've seen tons of mood boards all around social media, all around different writers' platforms, and I always thought to myself, this would be so much fun to do. Of course, I have no idea how to do mood boards, but I'll definitely try and make some sort of mood board for my characters. If I manage to finish, I will make a mood board for the project I finished. So my standalone, I'll make character mood boards for those characters, and for my trilogy, those characters will get moved on. And my final goal for Camp NaNoWriMo is to start writing earlier. Now this is like a sort of more writing routine goal than actually writing project goal, but I think it's still to do with writing and it's still something I want to do in camp. Essentially, I'm a morning person. I like waking up in the morning, I like doing things in the morning, I do the best job in the morning. However, I never actually sit down to write until like midday, early afternoon, sometimes even night. Wait till night to start writing for the very first time in that day. And hopefully this will establish some sort of routine, like me getting out of bed early and going and working early. And hopefully even I might learn a little bit about myself if I'm a morning person or not. I'm a self-proclaimed morning person, but for all I know, I could be the one that wants to work later. That's it for my camp and Preparch plans. This obviously can change as things come up. Right now, I'm not super busy during March and April, which is why I can't fit so much goals in. However, I am a big procrastinator, so whether they're done or not, that's a mystery. Thank you very much for watching though. Let me know what you're going to do for Camp Nano or for Preparch, and let me know the sort of projects you just want to work on in general for the month, if you're participating or not. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!